All right, Shabbat Shalom, Yasharala, Great Millstone, Louisiana Saints, coming back at you with another live Shabbat lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahasadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shabbat Shalom. So today we're just going to go into a topic that's very somber, very sobering, but it's something that's well needed for the body. You know, we prophesy about the downfall of Babylon. We prophesy about the death of 2/3. We prophesy about mass destruction. And so what does that mean? There's going to come a time very soon, and it's already starting, where a lot of brothers in the faith, a lot of family members of brothers in the faith are going to start dropping dead and just falling by the wayside. And it's very important that you have an understanding of death. You have an understanding of the Most High's relationship with death, and so you don't bug out. You know, as it tells you in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our times, and that wisdom and knowledge comes from the scriptures. So we're just going to start with the 1 Thessalonians 4.
This is 1 Thessalonians 4. Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you by the Lord Yahweh Shai, that as ye have received of us, how ye ought to walk and please the Most High, so ye would abound more and more.
Right, so that you can abound more and more, knowing how to walk in the faith, knowing how to please the Most High. We get that from these precepts. We understand everything that we need to know to prepare us for that evil day, and that includes death. That includes the understanding of what happens after your spirit leaves your body, so you don't get bugged out when you see these things. Because again, we prophesy heavily about the death of the 2/3, but also, you know, you have the death of the prophets, you have martyrs. You have to understand how this process works, so you don't bug out, man. You can jump down to. You want to say something, Taya?
No, I just sneezed.
Okay, come. You can jump down to verse 13. Baba Kusha.
1 Thessalonians 4:13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Right, and that's the whole point right there. Others have no hope. We have a hope of the world to come. We have a hope that all of the family members that we lose, all the brothers in the truth, as well as family members that aren't in the truth, we have a hope that we're going to see them again. We have a hope that the next time we see them, they're either going to be in a chariot. If they're a man of the Lord, they're going to be in which we're going to get that in the scriptures. But also, if it's a family member that's a 2/3, if they were scoffing against the word, or if they're a family member that, you know, may not have necessarily believed, but they weren't scoffing and coming up against you, you're going to see them in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to see them in their right state of mind. You're going to see them in their perfection, because Israel is going to be made perfect very soon. And death should remind you of these things. Death shouldn't bug you out. Death shouldn't make you panic. Death should make you think, okay, this person actually was preserved from the evil to come. Matter of fact, before we go down in that Thessalonians, you can give me that Isaiah 57.
Because Isaiah 57 verse 1, the righteous perisheth, and no man liveth to heart. And merciful men are taken away, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
Right, none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. A lot of people in this world, they don't consider that when the Most High puts someone to death, especially if they die in their sleep, or if they pass in a coma, or if they go, you know, by some random quick like that, people in the world think, oh man, so and so died before their time. Why, Lord? Why'd you do that? But we in the truth, we consider the things to come. That person was actually receiving mercy from the evil to come, because there is nothing but evil prepared for this place. All right, you have the gas prices getting higher and higher. Food is becoming more scarce. The scriptures tell you that to die of famine is even worse than getting shot or stabbed. You have a lot of people that are going to starve to death. So when you see someone die in a so-called quick manner, that's actually mercy from the Father. And you should know that, being in this truth. You should look at death as mercy, not as, you know, some horrible, you know, just being bugged out. That's the response of someone that doesn't have hope. Read that again in Thessalonians.
Verse 13.
Come.
This is 1 Thessalonians 4:13. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Right. Apostle Paul saying, I would not have you ignorant, brethren. The word ignorant means to not know. And we know, pertaining to the scriptures, the Most High gave us the actual science, the actual knowledge of what happens when you die. So Apostle Paul says, I will not have you ignorant, brethren, and to not be sorrowful as them which have no hope. We have a lively hope. We have hope in the kingdom of heaven. We have hope in the salvation of Israel, and we have hope that we're going to be reunited with everyone that we lose on this side. Even I don't know if you're still holding that, Matthew, but not only are we going to be united with the family members we lost, we're going to have an abundance of even more family. It tells you in Isaiah 60 that one man is going to have 1,000 children, man. You're gonna have more family than you know what to do with. So keep going on that Thessalonians.
Oh, you want the Thessalonians?
You holding the Matthew?
Yeah, I still got the Matthew.
Oh, you can bring it out. You can bring it out. Whatever precept your brothers got.
This is Matthew 19, and I'm going to start at 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily, I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Right. And the key point there is shall receive 100-fold. That's just one of the many benefits of serving the Lord. Whatever you lose, you're going to receive 100-fold. You lose a job, you lose a house, you lose your children. All right, brothers, struggle with child support and things of things of that nature. Going back to the curses, our families will be torn apart. Your wife might have an evil eye towards you. Don't even sweat that, man. In the kingdom, you'll have 100 wives, 1,000 children, man. So if you lose family members, you have to keep pushing. Don't let death make you bitter and turn you against the Lord, turn you against the brotherhood, or make you feel like, woe is me. Everything that happens to us, these are not things that are uncommon to man. These are things that are happening to all of us. And very soon, every man of the Lord is going to be faced with mass death. Everything we've been prophesying is going to happen. So you can't act surprised when it happens. Like, oh, I didn't know the Lord's about to kill millions of people. That's all we've been preaching, man. These are things you have to prepare your mind for.
If I can add real quick, like you said, we're going to get them back. But the most beautiful part is that we're going to get them all back in their right mind. Everything is going to be perfect. Then we ain't got to worry about the wickedness and, the stupidity of our family members, and so on. Like, everything is going to be beautiful and perfect in that kingdom. I brought this out. We are those men.
Hey, about to add, I was talking to the brother Raya earlier, and we was talking about some of the similarities of the things. Like, what was it we was thinking about what's going to happen? Like, it's like we've been talking about this all this time, so nothing really should come to a shock. It's like what we thought. We just was gonna be talking forever, like nothing was gonna come to pass. All right, these words are manifesting, man. And we knew the scriptures will manifest themselves. We just gotta be willing. If we willing to, be walking in that day, and the scepter was coming, man. Cause the words, the words of the book is bound. They're gonna happen, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, I got to only a man. And the scripture tell you right here that I'm holding in Sirach 41. Only a man that feels that debt is bitter. That's only a man that's living in his possessions. You living for your house, your car, your woman, these things in the world. So you're gonna find debt bitter. You're gonna find Hey, we don't. It is what it is, man. We are up here accepting anything the Lord brings to us, man. Cold-heartedly, it just is what it is. Because we have, but we do. We say that to say this. We do have the opportunity of hope. We hope in the Lord that we receive salvation. We doing a whole lot better than most out here, than the majority, the bulk of the people out here, especially the Israelites, man. The average everyday common Israelites, we doing way better than them. At least we putting our right foot forward. You can break it down, Amawad. This is the book of Sirach 41, and I'm gonna read down to 3. I'm gonna start at 1 and read down to 3. It says, "O debt, how bitter is the remembrance of thee to a man that liveth at rest in his possessions, unto the man that has nothing to vex him, and that has prosperity in all things. Yea, unto him that is yet able to receive meat. It says,
Done.
oh, that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the first verse is telling you, death is bitter to someone that's basically in the world. When you read Sirach 41:1, it's basically describing the exact opposite of a man of the Lord. Someone that's not vexed by anything, someone that's resting in their possessions, someone that's comfortable in this world. Oh, how bitter is death to that person, because they're enjoying their so-called life. Yahweh Shai said you have to hate your own life to follow him. So if you hate your own life, and which, as we're going to get in Corinthians, it's better to be with the Lord, you're going to have the exact opposite perspective as someone that just loves everything about this current life. Like, death has to be the worst thing ever if you're enjoying every second of life. But if you, you got it, huh?
Hey, that's why Yahweh Shah came and took what? The sting of death away. Because again, that sting to certain people, like you say, is better because they're dying what? They're dying, they trying to save their life. All right. That's why that gonna be that much more bitter. All right, because they're trying to hold on to something that's inevitable. Like, you have to die if you're not being saved. That's what I don't think people is understanding, man. All right, if you're not getting saved by the Lord, the opposite end of that is death, man. All right, that's why Yahweh tried to come and take that sting away from it, man. You got it, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of our people are dead men walking, dead women walking. They don't even know. Scripture says, if you living in pleasure, you dead while you live. You're already dead. You just animated, basically. You're not alive, but you're animated. You can keep going on that. That's right.
Yeah, verse 2 says, O death, acceptable is thy sentence unto the needy, and unto him who strength faileth, that is now in the last age, and is vexed with all things. All right? And to him that departed and has lost patience, fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that has been before thee, and that cometh after. For this is the sentence of the Lord over all flesh.
Right. The scripture says, fear not the death, the sentence of death. And that's the mentality you're supposed to have as a man of the Lord. That second Maccabees 7 spirit, that spirit of, whatever the Lord has prepared for me, if this is how it's meant for my story to end, I'm going to accept it manfully. I'm not going to, squeal like a goat. I'm going to take it like a sheep, which is to just accept the judgment of the Lord and understanding what happens after that. You're going to be present with the Lord. It's not like your spirit's going to just disappear and poof, and you don't exist anymore. These people have all sorts of weird ideologies. You go to hell and Satan is poking you and you're on fire forever. All of this madness. When you come to the truth, one of the reasons that we tear down strongholds and go into these wayward philosophies is not just to, sound deep or anything like this, so you can understand that all of these philosophies are set up to increase your fear of death, to increase your fear of this world. You're supposed to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and once you do that, nothing else should really shake you or make you panic or bug out.
I gotta appreciate the back up what you're saying, because ultimately too, Jacob's trouble, these things are happening. Even that, it's not even for the righteous, man. It's for the wicked. And this scripture backs up what Amawai was saying and what I just said. In the verse over from Sirach 41 in chapter 40, I'm gonna start at about 5. The point is in 9, 10, and 11. It says wrath, envy, trouble, inquiringness, fear, and debt, and anger, and strife, in the times of rest unto his bed, his night sleep do it change his knowledge. A little or nothing is his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep, as in a day of keeping watch, trouble in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a battle. When all is safe, he waketh and marveleth that he feared was nothing. It says, such things happen unto all flesh, but man and beast, and that is sevenfold more unto sinners. And this is the point. Everything else right here is the point. It says death and bloodshed, strife, in sword, calamity, famine, tribulations, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked. All right, and for their sake came the flood. All things that are of the earth shall return again to the earth, and that which is of the waters do it return into the sea. You got it. You got it.
God. And then in verse 8 it says, such things happen unto all flesh, but sevenfold more to sinners. So like the elder said, these great judgments, they're really prepared for the 2/3. They're prepared for the heathen. So when you see somebody die in their sleep, when you see someone pass calmly, when you see someone have a real quick death, that's mercy from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's going to be sevenfold for sinners. It's going to be look, these scoffers, these people that came up against the gospel, they're going to be the people that you see on the news with these horrific deaths. You know, brothers just posted that situation that happened down here with that chick, man. That was a horrible way to go, man. She got shot up and her body was still, her spirit was still in her body, man. She didn't pass quietly in her sleep. These are the judgments that are prepared for scorners and just demonic people, man.
Hey, I was gonna say too, real quick, Doc, to add to you with that guy you seen walking on the sidewalk, you seen he was in that spirit created for vengeance. This nigga was walking, taking his time to do his shit, man.
Yeah.
In broad daylight. But go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, these are the judgments that are prepared for scorners, man. The Most High is putting a vicious spirit on these people. So seeing someone, a family member die in their sleep, that shouldn't bug you out. Scripture should come in your mind. Okay, that's actually mercy. That's the Lord wasn't making an example out of this person. You can get a Kayal, if you can give me Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12 real quick, because once you understand the truth, you're like I was saying earlier, you have these people that believe in these different philosophies that cause them to fear death. They fear Satan. They fear ghouls and goblins. They fear Halloween. They fear ghosts and all sorts of things because they don't have any understanding.
You mind if I get you one real quick?
Come on,
to back up what you said, how by us understanding this truth and preaching it, we're breaking down these strongholds and these different philosophies that Esau has built up to get people afraid of death and all these other heathens. And to back up what you said a little bit earlier, Kaya, how Yahweh Shai took away the sting of death. Hey, first by what? Giving us this understanding of the scriptures to know that if we lose family members or lose our lives, hey, as long as we endure, we're going to receive it 100-fold. And then when Yahweh Shai returns, and if we're of that number, get those immortal bodies, and then the rest of the nation of Israel is going to come back through us immortal. But this is Hebrews chapter 2. I'm going to start at 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself, speaking of Yahweh Shai, likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had power of death, that is the devil. Here's the point in verse 15. And deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage.
Yeah, all our lives, man. We subject to bondage, which really we're prisoners of hope. And going back to that First Thessalonians, we're not like those in the world that have no hope. Being a prisoner of hope is better than being a prisoner of Angola. It's better than being a prisoner of Rikers Island. We're prisoners of the hope to come, of the world that's going to follow this one. So you're marching towards faith, towards that mark. Anything that happens as a result of that on your walk, it shouldn't throw you off your trail. You should keep moving forward as a good soldier. And anything other than that is really, well, as the brother's going to read in Wisdom of Solomon, that's just fear working in your mind. You got it, Art?
All right. What verse you want to start at? 12 and where?
17 and 12.
All right. It's Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth.
Right. And that word succor basically means support or help. So reason offers you support and help in your mind of things to come. And fear is a betraying of that. Fear is basically you casting aside all reason and logic, casting aside the things that you learned. And now you actually believe that the things in your mind, the what ifs, the possibilities, that's actually worse than reality, which isn't the case. Your idea of death and the afterlife that you get from the Catholic Church, that's far worse than what actually takes place. What actually takes place is your spirit goes back to the Father and you're at rest. You're at total peace. All right. The wicked, the righteous, they all go to one place and they're calm there. they're at rest. Oh, you can read 13.
And the expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
Right. The things that cause fear, you're tormented more by the things in your own mind. So death, for example, should put you at peace. It should calm you. But your imagination of what's going to happen in the afterlife, that's tormenting you more than death itself. You're tormented by your own mind. Just random thoughts and ideologies that the so-called white man put in your head have bugged our people out. You know, we didn't always panic at death. That's something that's like really a new thing for our people. You know.
I got something to back you up real fast with that.
Okay.
This is Sirach 28, and I'm gonna start at 21. Sirach 28 and 21. It says, "The debt thereof is an evil debt. The grave is better than it. It should not have rule over them that fear Yahweh. Neither shall they be buried with the flame thereof. Such as forsake the Lord shall fall in it, and shall burn in them, and not be quenched. It shall be sent unto them as a lion, and devour them as a leopard."
Right, and that's these philosophies that turn our people away from the Lord. It says when you turn away from the Lord, that's when death is really like a problem, man. Death, dying in your sleep, dying in, you know, even like I said, these quick deaths. You might have a so-called stray bullet, which there's no such thing. But when you get taken out real quick and painlessly, man, that's mercy. But when you're tortured, when you're just brutally suffering and you're not in the truth at all, you're not suffering for righteousness' sake, you're just suffering because you love this world and the Lord is torturing you, man, that's judgment. And there's no other way of looking at it.
Yeah, but the point was in 22 when it says it should not have rule over them that fear the Most High, because we understand what that is.
Yeah.
All right, we're taking the place of our ancient forefathers. All right, our ancient foremothers in them. They understood. You read these scriptures, man. You understood that the men and the people back then understood reincarnation. They understood what debt meant. They knew where they were going at too. You know, going back to Peter, I believe it's 2 Corinthians 12, something like that. With Peter talked about the third heaven. Right, Peter talked about the spirit world, how it was. He called it paradise, man. Right, so when you have a person die that you know, family members, they're going to paradise. They're not. Hey, you know, Apostle Tahar said it a long time ago. They're not crying to come back to this bitch. I can tell you that. They're actually, you know, aggravating the Lord to help you, man. Lord, you know, help them out, man. But your family members and friends, whoever, they're not trying to come back down here, man. You got it out.
Yeah, it's just like what was it, Saul? He woke up Samuel. He's like, why'd you wake me up, man? Why'd you wake me up? Like, he wasn't like, oh, I'm glad to be back. It's good to be back on the earth and, you know, have joint pain. You know, it's good to be hungry nah, man, your spirit is totally, you're in paradise. All right. You can get while we're on the subject, you can get that 2 Corinthians out.
Yeah, I think it's 2 Corinthians. Yeah, that's it. 2 Corinthians 1, and read down.
You want me to get that?
Oh, you wanted to get 1? I was gonna get 5.
I was talking about 2 Corinthians 12, 1. You gonna get 5?
Come on.
Yeah, just read down and get the whole, you know.
Nah, he talking about chapter 5.
My bad.
About
I was talking about 12. Whenever you're ready for it.
Come on. We could start at the 5.
Okay.
12. You got it, Kalai.
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and 1. It says, "For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Yahweh, a house not made of hands, eternal in the heavens."
Right. We have an earthly we have a heavenly tabernacle that's not built with hands, man. We have a spiritual body, just like the Most High. His spiritual body is described in the book of Daniel. Yahweh Shai is a spiritual body. We're actually spirits that are in chains of darkness. This flesh, these are chains of darkness. We're not meant to have this state forever. Scriptures describe this as a low estate. So when you return to your first estate, that's not a bad thing. That's just gonna tell you. Keep going.
For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house, which is heaven. If so be that being clothed, we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that we, Salaki, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of the life.
Right. And we know that being naked goes into having shame. But there's the actual clothing of righteousness. The scriptures speak about putting on a double garment of righteousness. In the kingdom, man, we're not going to ever sin again. And you don't sin when you're with the Father. You don't sin when you're out of this flesh. All right. No, there's nobody in the spiritual realm committing idolatry, adultery, murder. None of that. That's all down here, man, in hell.
For you out.
You got it out.
Something quick. There's Romans chapter 6, verse 7. It says, for he that is dead is freed from sin. And like the brother was going into, when we leave this earthly tabernacle, when we die and return back unto the Father, we're not sinning no more. You know, the brothers went into it. When you go back into the spirit world, it's a paradise, man. You know, and I just want to quickly hit that right quick. You want me back in 5?
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. You got it.
If I could back them up right quick precept. This is Ecclesiastes 7:1. A good name is better than a precious ornament in the day of death, in the day of one's birth.
That's right.
So you know, therefore letting us know, like, man, death is not what people actually think it is, man. It's beautiful to be at peace. You know,
but if I could say, Job cursed the day that he was born. All right. Job knew that being alive in his sinful flesh, all right, it brought torment upon you. It brings torment upon every man's soul. All right. So he cursed the day he was born.
I'm actually holding that one.
Go ahead, bro. Run it.
This is Job chapter 3. I'm gonna start at 11. Why died I not from the womb?
That's right.
Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me, or why the breasts that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept, then had I been at rest. With kings and counselors of the earth, which build desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as in hidden, untimely birth, I had not been, as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together, they hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter in soul.
God. It says, there the weary be at rest, both the small and great are there. Everyone's in the spirit world, and they're all at rest there. None of them are clamoring to get back to America. You know, please, Lord, send me down so I could just see, you know, the finals. Please, Lord, let me just hear that Kendrick Lamar album. Like, nobody's pining away to be back in the flesh. Once you're out of these chains of darkness, man, you're actually free. You got it up.
Like it's saying Ecclesiastes 3, you know, the earth is the place of judgment, right? And if the earth is the place of judgment and you giving your judgment in heaven, there's no need for you to act out your judgment in heaven. All right. Like the brother's been going into this whole lesson is paradise, you know, in the heavens. But I just wanted to make that point.
Real quick to prove, you know, just with the brother saying, man, who you know died in the heavens.
Come on. Right?
There's no record of that. There's no nothing of nothing. Like, there's no nothing saying that someone died in the heavens. Only thing bring forth death is sin.
Sin, bro.
So it's telling you clearly, like, they don't sin there. They don't go off. You don't have sex. You don't do, like you say, in your celestial body, you can't do the things in your terrestrial body, man. But the Lord is going. That's why it's going to be what? When the men of the Lord do come back down, and we gonna have the celestial blended with the terrestrial, man. All
Extraterrestrial.
right?
Yeah, we're gonna be extraterrestrial.
Yeah, we're gonna be extraterrestrial. Not
On
like the
earth.
green-headed bugs they talk, oh, the extraterrestrial. Yeah. No, you're gonna see men with beards, 9 foot tall, 10 foot tall, man. On earth, carrying judgment out. With being celestial and terrestrial beings simultaneously, man.
Simultaneously.
Come on, man.
Indeed.
You got it, bro. But nobody died in the heaven. Last we recorded, there's no record of that.
Yeah, the scriptures say on earth as it is in heaven. So if it's perfect order up there, and the kingdom is going to be perfect order down here, it is what it is.
That's right.
Simple.
Let me get back in that 2 Corinthians.
Come on, keep going.
This verse 5. Now he that hath wrought us for the self same thing is Yahweh, who also had given us the earnest of the Spirit. Therefore, we are always confident, knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord.
Right, and that word earnest means down payment or pledge. So if we have this gospel, which is the earnest of the Spirit, it says, therefore, we are confident, which confident means with faith, knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. So those of us that are in the truth, those of us that have the name of the Lord, the understanding, the will, the prophecies, we know that right now, we're in basically absent from the Lord, meaning even though the Lord's with us, we're physically down here. We're not up in the spirit world yet, but we have an understanding of the spirit world. As the brother just read in Job, the weary cease from rest, cease from troubling. They're at rest, and we know that, and we have a hope of going back to the Father. You got it?
And if I could just make a point, it said being confident. And on the flip side of that, that's why the men of the Lord wouldn't stressed about dying. They knew exactly where they were going. They had confidence with that. They had faith in that.
And they was aware of reincarnation, just like the elders Yakanan spoke about. When those men knew, when they would go rest with their fathers, when David, particular men was like, bury me with my fathers. They knew that they had appointed time. It even explains that in Job. Yeah, it says in Job 14 that, Job 19 as well, that the Lord had appointed me a day and to call me back, man, from my death. And he said Job was like, I not waited for it, because I knew that it would come around, man. First James believe it's Job, 19 or is either 14? It's one of them that he appointed me a day and called him back, man. But this, real quick, to go into what I'm saying too. Sirach 14 and 17, it says, all flesh waxeth old as a garment. For the covenant from the beginning is, thou shalt die to death. As of the green leaves on a thick tree, some fall and some grow. So is the generation of flesh and blood. One cometh to an end and another is born. See, we know, people die, we reincarnated, we coming back, we funnel back through. We understand that, what reincarnation is. It means means back. Carnation means what? In the flesh, man. So the flesh, you coming back through the flesh, man. All right? Through, as Solomon said, and what that is, Wisdom of Solomon 7, and I believe in one when he said, every man has the same interest in life, 10 months compacted in blood, from the
Yeah.
Oh, you see, I think that's Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 1, right? When he speak about
Solomon 7.
yeah, he fall, he coming like a birth of every man. He fall to the earth and crying. All right. He swaddled and everything like that. Because we have to understand the covenant of the grave, man. All right. There's a covenant of the grave. We get it.
Right.
It's in 1 Corinthians back and forth. You make a point?
I got a precept too.
It says every work rotted and consuming away, and the work of thou shall go without. But it says, so is the generation of flesh and blood. One coming to an end and another is born. It's gonna always be reincarnation ain't gonna, except for Edom when they get their judgment, man. You know, they ain't coming back.
I
No?
got it.
What you got?
You got it, Doc. You got it, bro.
Telling me,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, here you
Okay.
go. This one of my favorites. This Second Ezra 4, and I'm gonna start about I'm start at 33. It says, "Then I answered and said, How and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he said unto me, saying, Do not thou haste above the Most High, for thou haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded it." It says, Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying, How long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the flood of our reward? And it says, and unto these things Uriel the archangel gave him answer and said, Even when the number of seeds is filled in you, for he has weighed the world in the balance. It says, By measures had he measured the times, and by number has he numbered the times, and do it not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. All right, and it says, Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, even we all are filled of impiety. I'm saying impiety wrong. Impiety. I'm probably saying it wrong. And so
Impious.
That's it.
Impious.
impious, and for our sake, peradventure it is that the flood of the righteous are not filled because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. And that's the point. All right, everything else is the point. So he answered me and said, Go thy way to a woman with child and ask of her when she has fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. Then said I, No, Lord, that can she not. And he said unto me, In the grave, the chamber of souls are like a womb of a woman, for like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessities of the necessity,
Necessity. Yeah.
the necessities of the travail, even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them.
Yeah. So the spirit world, one of the terms for it is chamber of souls. It's like a revolving door. You have people that get sent up to the spirit world. You have people that are coming back down. And Brother Kaya brings out all the time, the Most High likened his judgment unto a ring. It's like a constant revolving door of judgment, and just replenishing of the earth, as it tells you in Psalms. Let me get that real quick.
Hey, and even in that, you had grabbed that Job, Amawad.
Con, I got it for you.
That 14.
Yeah, let me read it for you real quick. This Job 14. I'm gonna start at 13.
Start at 10. Yeah.
Verse 10. But man dieth and wasteth away. Yea, man giveth up the ghost. And where is he?
There shouldn't be no question mark after that. Because the contrary to popular belief in the world, when a man died, they like, that's it, he gone. He ain't never coming back. It shouldn't even be a question mark. All right. It said when man died and wasted away, yea, man giving up the ghost. And where is he? Why is the question mark? Go ahead, Art.
Yeah, and they get that also from Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter. Thoughts of the wicked. The wicked have taught people in the world that you die and you're gone forever.
Yeah.
Right? The wicked have taught, because he has a vain mind, a vile mind. He don't have no hope. He don't have no faith. So he can't see the spirit world. He can't see the afterlife. Now it's called an afterlife for a reason, man.
I got one back there too.
I got a coat. Let me see.
Bring yours out real quick, Kyle, so you can finish in that 14 real quick.
It's 2 Maccabees 7 and 13 and 14. It says, now when this man was dead, also they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. And it's the point. So when he was ready to die, he said, thus, it is good being put to death by men to look for hope from the Most High to be raised up again by him. But as for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life.
Yeah, because at that time, and that's spiritual because it's prophetic. You ain't when y'all get when you know E or whatever when he get put out the way, he ain't coming back, man. All right, you not coming back, partner. All right, so you know it's prophetic. Doing way in the Maccabees time, he telling them you ain't got no resurrection to life, man. And according to the scriptures, in Obadiah, you gonna be put out the way, and you ain't coming back.
Hey, jump to 21 to 23. This is even a woman, man. Even their mother understood a new reincarnation, man. Those 7 sons of Maccabees, man.
All right. This verse 21.
These are tokens. These are tokens and lessons for us to actually put in our minds, man. All right. We have hope. We have a resurrection coming to us, man. If we even get touched, that we, because the Lord, I bring it out all the time, man. We bring out the bad things that's going to happen. We have to push also the good things, man. We also have to push, the hope that we do have, man.
That's right.
All right. And our hope, the Lord, they're going to be men that's not going to even taste of that, man. They're going to be men. It don't make no sense for the Lord to give us all. I say it all the time. It don't make a sense for the Lord to give us all this knowledge, man. Put us on the highways and byways, preaching so proudly and boldly, man, in his name to destroy us, man. It don't make no sense. It just don't. But go ahead.
All right. This second Maccabees 7 and 21 says, yea, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirits, and stirring up her womanish thoughts with a manly stomach, she said unto them, I cannot tell how ye came into my womb, for I neither gave you breath nor life.
Hey, I thought about that one Saturday. We should have brought that one Saturday, man.
God.
All right, cutting you damn women, but go ahead, brother.
Neither was it I that formed the members of every one of you, but doubtless the creator of the world, who formed the generation of man and found out the beginning of all things, will also of his own mercy give you breath and life again, as ye now regard not your own selves for his law's sake.
Yeah, man. The Israelite woman understood reincarnation. She took it more manfully than a lot of so-called men. But yeah, they don't form the members. The Most High does that, which we just went into that. But the point is, the Most High is going to put the breath in us again. We're going to be on the earth again, as it tells you in Job. Which
you're going to say that. Yeah, it's going to say that.
It's back in Job 14.
And 11.
As the waters fail from the sea, and the flood decayeth and drieth up, so man lieth down and riseth not, till the heavens be no more. They shall not awake, nor be raised out of their sleep. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, that thou wouldest keep me secret. And
right, so what do you mean hide him in the grave? To keep him secret. Meaning he go up, is appointed unto man to what? Die once, then the judgment. So now, when he died as, that man, or you die who you are, you going to get the judgment. Meaning, all right, you gonna be in the heavens, in your spiritual body. That's when you're in secret. You got to have the understanding to know that, man. Go ahead.
God. And going back to Isaiah 57, that death actually preserves you from the Lord's wrath. You're already in the spirit world in the day of the Lord. It says, when the wrath, hide me in the grave, keep me secret until thy wrath be past. There's a whole lot of wrath coming, man. You got it up. You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
You gotta finish it up.
Come on. Until
you don't finish
it. That thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time and remember me.
That's when he call your spirit back. to you, to the earth. He called your spirit out of the spirit world from your earthly, your spiritual tabernacle that that Paul went into in 2 Corinthians 5. All right, into what? A fleshly body. And that's where you got us right now. That's how we able to say we got our judgment. Brothers came down in 1993, born on a day, March 3rd, 93, had to come back down to flesh, man. So they was what? They had their set time in the heavens to where they had to be appointed, made of flesh and blood, through a woman and a man, all right, conceived in the womb, bones grew in the womb, and they came out of a woman 9 months later, man. And that's another interest appointed to life, man.
And it's funny too. It's funny too how the Lord do it. You have a set point in time in His life, in the flesh and the body. Then you have a set point in time in the spirit too.
In the spirit world, yeah.
I'm talking about in the spirit to wake up, because
to wake up too.
Wake up. The Lord wakes you up at whatever time. It been 1990, 1982. You might have woke up. And it's continuing in the word. You might have woke up in 2007, 2010, 2012, 14. You have a point in the spirit. Also, you have a point in time to wake up too. You are a 25-year-old man, but in the spirit, you're actually a 1-year-old man, a 2-year-old, 5-year-old, however many years you've been in the truth. So it's a double-edged sword, man. It's all spiritual too, man. And we have men that begot us in the word, man. Why does it say that? Right? We have spiritual teachers, man, that we honor and we give double honors to, man. All right, this thing it's all the Most High covered all categories across the board,
Yes. They got a little more on board.
Yeah, some more meat on it, though.
Come. Verse 14. If a man die, shall he live again? Question mark. All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come.
Right. To his time. All right. To the Lord, change him from the spirit world to the flesh, from the flesh back to the spirit world. Like you said, the Lord likened his judgment into a ring. And when you look at that, all right, judgment is the way you measure every fucking thing. So the Lord measure everything like into a ring, the beginning to the last back to the beginning, back to the front to the back. All right, that's why there's no new thing under the sun. Everything you're saying is a recycling of things. You see things coming. You've been here before. That's why you say your grandma say, man, that man it's like he been here before. Or something like, because he has been.
Yes.
Because he has been multiple times. And what? Different reincarnations. You got it.
I'm holding that Ecclesiastes 1, what you just quoted.
You got it.
I can bring that out. This is Ecclesiastes 1. I'm gonna start at 4, and that's one of my favorite precepts, because it paints a picture of a reoccurring cycle. And this is Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abide forever. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and has it to his place where he arose. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
So how powerful the Most High is, man.
That's right.
The Most High, man. It just made the point right there about the waters and the rivers flow. They don't flow over. The Most High created all things within this planet, invisible things you can see. That's how powerful our power is, man. But you got numbskulls out here that say there is no power. We got the atheists and all these other goddamn bug outs out here, man. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, it tells you in Jeremiah, the Most High actually stops the ocean, like right at the sea. Like the water's strong enough to just take over the land. But the Most High said, look, you stop right here. There's going to be a beach right here. The Most High just stops the ocean. Like,
nobody knows. It could clearly come past where it's at. Like, if you look the way that it's made by the water, and you look at all the pressure of the water from way how far the water is out, how deep it is, you can see it can just overflood everything. It can clearly overflood everything, but it don't go past the bounds that the Lord put at it. Like you can't go past this. It overthrow itself. It says the waves throw itself, but it can't what? It just can't disrespect the word of the Lord, man. You know, the waters is chastised by the word of the Lord. The Lord chastised the waters, man. He said, though they raw, they can't overthrow themselves.
Yeah, and we know the Most High already flooded the earth once. There's more than enough water on the earth to just cover everything. But the only reason it hasn't, he said he wouldn't do it again. He promised, but he's gonna flood this place with fire. But that's another lesson. You got it out. Keep going.
You got it.
Song of the three holy children. All things
obey as well.
Obey as well, man. They even bless the Most High, man. All right.
Yeah.
I got one more verse, but if I could also mention on that verse 7, that all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. That's probably to me the most vivid, interpretation that you could have, because what happens? The water runs down to the ocean, it rises up into the clouds, and it rains. It's a constant cycle of the water coming down, where the earth will never be, full with water, like you're saying. The water won't overtake the land because it's a constant cycle of the water going through. You dig?
That happens. The waters, the mind.
In a sense, too, man. Going back into Peter, we live in the water. All right.
Yes.
This is the water.
Yeah.
Around the earth is the water. And we can go on and on.
Waters. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the waters within the waters. It's your mind. The heavens, man.
Right.
And just to get this last verse, this is Ecclesiastes, jumping to what you just mentioned, Kaya. Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, it can't. The cycle can't be broken. That's why we get it. All right, there's a certain cycle that's in place that the Lord have set up. Like it says, the sun rises and then it go back to its place. There's no way the sun ain't gonna miss a day to rise, and there's no day that the sun not gonna come up at a set point in time and then it don't come back. Or it, and even with that, the Lord have did that to show, like, I'm the one that could stop the time. Or the radius of the sun, he did it multiple times. He let the sun stay up longer than it was supposed to with Joshua. He did it multiple times, man.
I think the day stays still, the sun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joshua prayed so that he could defeat the enemies. He let the sun stay up, though. Go ahead.
Because in a sense, every day itself, in another sense, is a spirit, man.
Yeah, it excels the other. Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say, but think about it, if he did make it to where the sun did not rise one day or the same like that, then he said that the Lord will have to cast off his people, according to Jeremiah.
Yeah, in Israel. Hey, let me put a proper precept in that real quick on what we talking about. Because like you said, we don't want to just be just saying it. Get the fundamental understanding. This is Rock 33:7. It says, why do it one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun? All right. Hey, and the other days excelling the other day. All right. But all the days of the year is as the sun. It says, by the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. So the Lord distinguished it, gave everything in its place, man. And like, look, all right, son, you going to come up at a certain point of time, then you're going to go down so the moon could come out. And that, bro, it haven't been a day where the sun and the moon didn't come out. It may have been that you look at the sky, hey, the moon ain't out the day. You bugged out, partner. It came. You can best believe. Basically, you're basically saying, well, the Lord ain't put the moon and the sun out the day. Man, you notice what you're saying? Like that's not even feasible. The Lord would distinguish they going up and they coming down, which that says that is precepts for that. You know, it got a set appointed time. Even the sun and the moon got set appointed times. So what make you think man wouldn't have it? All right? That's the ordinance. Okay? Man is mixed in with the ordinance, man. Okay? You got it. Oh, Mama, why, bro?
Come. And that's, again, going back to Esdras, how, you know, he likened his judgment unto a ring. There's a constant, just a cycle. They call it the cycle of life. That's what we deal with, man. Death is not the end of it. That's just, you know, the end of your story on this side. But we know the days of Israel are innumerable. You have a story that's eternal in the heavens. And this is just one part of that story. Even, brothers, we talk all the time about how we're in the second book of Acts. We're in the second Acts. There's going to be in the kingdom, we're going to read about all our different carnations, our time here, our time there, the Syrian captivity, Babylonian captivity. This is just one part of our story. It's not the end of anything. It's just a story that we're playing out for prophecy's sake. You got a point, Kalai? You want to say something?
Yeah, I had a little pre for you.
Huh.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7. It says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it." I just basically recapping everything that we just said. Yahweh give the spirit. He sent the spirit on earth to dwell in the earthly tabernacles. Then you die at your set point of time, and then the dust return back to the earth, and your spirit go back to who sent it, which is who? Yahweh. You know what I'm saying?
God. And that's plain, man. The dust being the elements in your body that return to the earth, which is where we come from. All right, our bodies, our earthly tabernacles, and our spirit goes back to receive that judgment. Kabar, if you can get Psalms 104 and start at 29, and that cycle takes place so that prophecy can be fulfilled, so that we could receive our judgment and our reward. You have brothers that are going to receive rewards for our works on this side because we did works back in Rome. We followed the Messiah. You have brothers that are going to receive their reward because they walk with Moses instead of them wicked niggas, the murmurers back in Egypt. You have righteous men that have done righteous works in various multiple generations, and you have to come back to receive that reward. You have to come back to see your maker. Like Job said in Job 19, when I'm rised up, I'm gonna see my power in the flesh. I'm gonna see what my own eyes.
You got men who
You got it?
and you got men who walk righteous in every reincarnation, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
You see? Every reincarnation, man. And the Lord, for those men that Ezra saw, they're worthy to have a crown on their head, man. They walk righteous in every generation they came, man.
God.
And you looking at the men. Abarakazai, you brothers can be those men, man. Some of those men. Well, we are. We pray that we are, man. You know, we believe we are, you know, but we don't see. You see, if you walk in righteous now, because you standing in your lot in your last days right here, you probably walk righteous, man. You probably was a righteous man, you know. But we don't leave that up to the Lord because we can't call that shot, all right, at the end of the day. But Abarakazai, we are. You got it, man.
All right, this is Sirach 44:1. It says, "Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begot us. The Lord has wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned with their power, giving counsels by their understanding and declaring prophecies, leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people, wise and eloquent in their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses of writings. Rich men furnished with abilities living peacefully in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations and were the glory of their times. These be of them that have left a name behind them, and their praise might be reported." All right. All right. I'm almost. It says some there be have no memorial, who are perished as though they were never been, and come. It says and are become as though they never been born, and their children after them. All right, I'm gonna stop right here, but it says, "But these were merciful men, whose righteousness has not been forgotten." So let's back up. I'm a wide. What you talking about?
God. And as you keep going, it says, you know, their seed shall remain forever. You're gonna have a perpetual name in Israel if you serve the Lord, if you're of the elect. And again, that extends on to those that are of the household of faith, not necessarily prophets, but those that believe on Yahushua through the word of the prophets. All right, Yahushua prayed for them too in St. John the 17th chapter. But Kabar, if you got that Psalms 104,
What verse?
29 and 30.
Because Psalm 104, verse 29. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, they die and return to their dust.
Right, going back to Job 14, it says in Job 14, hide me in the grave, keep me secret. And in Psalms 104, it says they are troubled. The Most High takes away their breath, and He hides thy face. He basically puts them in a situation where they're hid from the destruction, they're hid from certain calamities, and they don't have to go through certain prophecies that we prophesied. You know, the famines, the plague, the pestilence. They don't have to deal with that in the spirit world. Nobody's starving in the spiritual realm, worried about the price of food going up. You're at rest. Keep going.
Thou sendest for thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth.
Right. Thou renewest the face of the earth. The Most High renews the face of the earth by bringing those same spirits back down, and He puts them in the dust again. That same, you know, potassium, magnesium, all the things in your bones, all the things that are in the soil and the earth. Those are the same things in our body. We're made of the earth. That's what the word Adam means, of the ground, Adama. We're
He
of the
told
ground.
Adam that.
Yeah.
Salaki, brother. He told Adam that. He said, "Of the dust thou came it, so the dust shall thou return." Back
Yeah.
in Genesis, man.
Yeah.
When he said about the sweat of his brow, or whatever, thorns and thistles or whatever, whatnot. You got it. I just want to add that Salaki, bro.
Yeah. And we're living that. We're living everything the Most High told Adam. You know, we got to work, we got to toil the land, we got to go through all these things. But guess what? He also told Adam, man. The scriptures speak about that second Adam coming, that's doing away with sin. You know, but through one Adam we all fall, but through that second Adam, we're all going to be made righteous. We're all going to be holy. Our whole nation is going to be perfect through Adam, man, which is Yahushua. If you could receive it, you can get back in that 2 Corinthians.
Come.
Finish
It's
that up.
verse 7. It says, "For we walk not by Salakia, for we walk by faith, not by sight. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of Him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Hamashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his holy body, according to that he had done, whether it be good or bad."
Right. So again, you're going to be given a reward every time you come on the earth and you fear the Lord, you walk in the spirit, you walk in obedience to the Most High and His Son. You're going to receive a reward for the things done in your body. Why? Because under the sun is the place of judgment, as the brother read. You're going to receive your reward on earth the same way you receive your judgment on earth. So those that serve the Lord, they're going to be given a reward. You're going to be, again, you're going to get a hundredfold back everything that you lose. You're going to receive that on earth. You're going to enjoy your family. Everybody you lose on this side, there's really no loss. Let's get back to that Thessalonians. I'm going to tell you.
Come on. Verse 14.
Come on, keep going. Read all the way down.
Come on. This is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 14. "For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will the Most High bring with Him."
Khan, it says, if we believe, that's a key word right there. If we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, the resurrection that's the cornerstone of our faith. If you don't believe in a power that can raise a man from the so-called dead, how can you believe that He's going to raise a nation from the dead state that we're in right now? How can you believe in any of the prophecies? We actually worship the only power that can reward you after death. He could raise you from the grave. He could keep your spirit in the spiritual realm to hide you from judgment and then bring you back in a chariot, as it's going to say. Keep going.
Verse 15. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, and the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first.
Right. The dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. They're already going to be on the chariot. Those men that stood stiffly for the name, if they become martyrs, or if they die in some strange calamity, if anything happens to them, they're already, listen, it tells you in Romans 8 that nothing can separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Yahweh Shai. That includes death. Death can't even separate us from the love of the Lord. That's how powerful this is. Keep going.
Verse 17, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Right. Brothers know that those clouds are chariots, so-called UFOs that are just making themselves known right now. They're clearly sending us a message that we're about to get out of here. Every time we go into WhatsApp, it's brothers seeing chariots. Now it's on the news. You got mainstream news talking about, we don't know what this is. We called, NASA, they don't know what it is. We call this person, they don't know what it is. The heathen are freaking out, man, because those clouds are making themselves known. And who's in those clouds? Our brothers. Keep on.
Verse 18, wherefore comfort one another with these words.
Right. Comfort one another with these words. The Holy Scriptures is known as what? The Comforter. We're comforted by knowing what's going to happen, who we are, where we come from. The Most High gave us our heritage back. He gave us an understanding of all things, including the afterlife. These people don't have that understanding. So-called Christians, so-called Muslims, so-called woke Negroes. They don't know what happens when they go to the Spirit. We just read it. We read it in Job. We read it in Corinthians, Hebrews. We know what happens. Esdras. We're comforted by these words. We're comforted by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and that knowledge that he gave us, that wisdom and knowledge. So you shouldn't be bugged out by death. If you've been in the truth for 10 years, 5 years, 6 months, you should be grounded in the spirit to know that all these things are a part of prophecy. They're all a part of the Lord's movie. And if you're a man of the Lord, it's part of your movie. It's part of your story. Every man of the Lord has his own story. You have family members that believe. You have family members that scoff, all of which you're going to see again. That's just part of your story. You can't take it personally. That's the story that the Most High wrote for you.
If I could add to you right quick, me and Kabar was just talking about it the other day. This Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times. It's something that's, it may seem very simple, but if you meditate on that, that's real deep of how these scriptures and having faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, of how that'll numb us to this entire world and everything that's happening too, what's going on. Like, it's literally our stability. That's what's holding us up in these times.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
if I,
Also to strengthen.
We have 172. What?
What's up?
We had like 108.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You were gonna say something, Goliath?
hey, Kaya, you brought this out a while back. You know what I'm saying, in Matthew 24, when it said that the the love of many shall wax cold. Now that's twofold. All right, yeah, you got the love of many shall wax cold with the wicked. They killing each other, whatever. But also with the righteous as well. It's not that we don't love our family, but like we just brought out this whole lesson. We understand where you go when you die. All right. And like the brother just brought out, like Bayan just said, hey, we become more numb to these things. All right. Like, hey, it said in Isaiah 33, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a balance. When we look at balance of things, the Lord, not just he gonna have you have that wax and coal of that love on both sides of the spectrum, right?
Right.
The Lord don't do nothing in a false balance is abomination to the Lord. So for everything that's done, you got to look at the other side of things. And that's how you make all the judgments with everything. All right. No matter what it is, whether we bringing it out in the truth, we got to look at the balance of things. Y'all cannot say that. The elder brother said it. Well, we tell y'all the bad shit. We gonna have to tell y'all the good shit too, man. Like, we can't just be on here all the time just giving you the bad news. It's good Titans. All right. It's a balance to everything. And that's how we fully clear the whole spectrum of everything, man, by always understanding the balance to everything. You gotta do, bro.
God, it tells you in Romans that all things work to the good of them that believe. Even the so-called bad news is part of the gospel, which the word gospel means good news. It's good that this place is going to be destroyed. It's good that 2/3 are going to be put down, that they're not going to be wicked anymore. They're not going to be scoffing anymore. These things are all good at the end of the day.
If I could say real quick, y'all brothers brought this out, multiple times. Even though we getting cut, they going through these scriptures, we gonna get cut by this. But also, when we going into the night, like I said, this is something that's also gonna heal those wounds that was cut. We getting comforted right now.
Yeah.
You got it, Ryan.
Wounds of the wound. You got it.
Yeah, it's just I'm gonna just read verse, and it really doesn't need to be broken down. It speaks for itself. In Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and it kind of encapsulates everything we've been talking about. No need to fear death. If that's your lot, hey, as long as you endure until the end like a soldier, you're going to receive that crown. And ultimately, you receive everything 100-fold, and everything's going to be put in its perfect order. This is Wisdom of Solomon 3. I'm going to start at 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. Somebody without the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, death is the worst thing going, especially suffering as a man of the Lord. We know that the majority of these people out here look at what we're doing as a foolish thing, a futile thing, not considering our works. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever.
Con, hey, read verse 9.
Okay. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect.
Right, the Most High have care for his elect, and those that put their trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai are going to understand the truth. We're going to understand death. We're going to understand reincarnation. We're going to understand the chariots coming back with our brethren. And all these things are, again, part of the gospel. They all work to the good. So, again, that's why it says in Thessalonians, comfort one another with these words. We're comforted by the scriptures. This is comforting to me. Abaratazah is comforting all you brothers that are dealing with death, all you brothers that are in the truth, that, we all need to hear these things from time to time, man. You can know the truth, but it's still good to hear it over and over again, man. Scriptures are highly repetitive. If brother had anything else? All right. So with that, Abaratazah, this lesson was edifying to the elect. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shabbat Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.